Hello all. I just wanted to make a quick video to help with the very last part of um, Objective 6 of Homework 6 that I did not get to in class today. And the, the main one that I wanted to show you are these guys. So there's a topic like this in Alex. So it says, given h of x, find two functions f of x and g of x such that h is equal to f circle g. And again, f circle g, we're going to change that circle notation into nested notation. So outside function stays your outside function, inside function goes to your inside function. So f circle g of x means f of g of x. And it might be a little confusing what they're asking for here. So we are given an h of x, and we need to define two functions, f of x and g of x. So we need to figure out what f of x is and what g of x is, so that h, the function that we're given, is f of g of x. So basically, that when you take g and you plug it into f, you get the function that we are given. Now, this is kind of a hard thing to make your brain do, but it's going to get a lot easier when you kind of sift through this, and really what you're looking for is an inside function and an outside function. Pay attention to the notation that they give you here. Alex will change this up every problem. They might switch this sometimes, whether you're looking for f circle g or g circle f. So every time you start a new iteration of the problem, figure out which function f or g is on the inside and which function is on the outside. Because again, Alex is going to switch those up for you. So in the notation I'm given, f circle g, the inside function is g of x, and the outside function is f of x. Okay, so let's come to number one here. I'm looking for an inside g of x and an outside f of x, so that when I take g and plug it into f, I get the absolute value of 2x squared minus 5. Okay, so again, I think it's easiest to look at this as an inside function and an outside function. So if I described an expression in this problem that I would describe as inside something else, what expression would you say is inside something else? Most of your brains are going to see 2x squared minus 5. That is inside an absolute value function, right? So 2x squared minus 5 is my inside function. Okay, so what's my outside function then? Well, the thing on the outside is the absolute value, right? If you're not sure what to put in the middle, put the function and then put an x in it. So my outside function is the absolute value of x. So that when I take my inside function and I plug it into x in my outside function, what I get is this h of x that we started with. So that means that if 2x squared minus 5 is my inside function, and again, like in this situation, g of x is my inside function, so I'm going to call g of x 2x squared minus 5. And f of x is my outside function, and my outside function here is the absolute value of x. If I have f of x equals the absolute value of x and g of x equals 2x squared minus 5, notice if I do f of g of x, then if I take x and plug it into g, what comes out is going to be 2x squared minus 5. And then this notation says I'm going to take 2x squared minus 5 and I'm going to plug it into f. F is here. So when I take 2x squared minus 5 and I plug it in for x, I get the absolute value of 2x squared minus 5, which is exactly what we started with. F circle g of x gives me h. And that's really what I was looking for. We're kind of decomposing this function h into an inside function and an outside function. So I think the easiest way to make your brain do this is to ask yourself what function is inside something else. That will tell you what your inside function is. And then just make sure that you look at what you're given to label them correctly. And with this number 1 here, I also want to make a note that there's not one answer to these problems. There could be multiple of them. For instance, I could also say, well, I think my inside function is 2x squared. In that case, what would be the outside function that 2x squared is inside of? Well, that would have to be the absolute value of x minus 5. Because if I took 2x squared and I plugged it in for x, I would get what I started with. So an alternative for this is that my inside function, which is g of x, could be 2x squared, and my outside function, which is f of x, could be the absolute value of x minus 5. Alternatively, we could also say my inside function, I think maybe it's just x squared. In that case, the outside function that x squared would have to be plugged into to get h would be the absolute value of 2x minus 5. Because if I took x squared and plugged it into x here, I would get what I started with, my h of x. So again, my inside function, g of x, could be x squared, and my outside function, f of x, could be the absolute value of 2x minus 5. Any of these will work. As long as your f and your g work together to create your h, Alex will accept any of them. You can absolutely kind of do what your brain sees. There's not a single answer to these. So let's try number 2 and 3. I'm going to just give you one answer to these. Again, there's multiple answers here, so you can, if your answer doesn't match mine, that's totally fine. As long as f and g work together, that's what's important. Okay, so to do this one, again, we want to identify an inside function and an outside function. So what expression here in number 2 would you say is inside something else? Most of your brains are going to find 5x to the 4th plus 1. That expression is inside something else. Your outside function is going to be the thing that it's inside of, which is here is going to be a cube root. And again, if you're not sure what to do with that, just put an x in it, and that'll kind of fix that for you. So my inside function is 5x to the 4th plus 1, and my outside function is the cube root of x. If I take my inside function and plug it into my outside function, I get what I started with, which is exactly what we needed. And again, g of x is my inside function, so g of x is that 5x to the 4th plus 1. And f of x is my outside function, so my outside function, f of x, is the cube root of x. Okay, one last one, number 3. What function would you say is inside another function? Most of your brains will see 8x minus 3. That is inside something else. So that's my inside function, which is g of x. And that means the outside function, the thing that's inside of, is a squared function. So it's going to be x squared. That's going to be my outside function, f of x. And if I take f circle g, I take g, plug it into f, I get 8x minus 3, that quantity squared, which is what we started with. And that is an answer. That's an f and g that work together. Okay, hopefully that helps you. Again, just ask yourself what function is inside something else, and that will lead you to the correct answer. Hopefully this helps. Good luck with homework 6. That is due on Sunday at midnight. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great weekend.